was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I wore white. He would always win the fight. Bang, bang. He shot me down. Bang, bang. I hit the ground. Bang, bang. That awful sound. Bang, bang. My baby shot me down. Seasons came and changed the time. When I grew up I called him mine. He would always laugh and say, remember when we used to play? Bang, bang, I shot you down. Bang, bang, you hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I used to shoot you down. Music played and people sang. Just for me the church bell rang. Now he's gone, I don't know why. And to this day sometimes I cry. He didn't even say goodbye. He didn't take the time to lie. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
I blacked out for a second. Is everybody okay? I'm Molly Lewis, and this song is a happy song. It's called I Pity the Fool. I used to get upset over giant paper cuts and math equations. Nothing stuck in my craw more than dogfights and shopping malls and tax evasion and catching norovirus and home foreclosure and paparazzis and 50 Shades of Grey and doing my taxes and losing at Yahtzee. But anymore these things don't seem to bother me. Ever since I started hanging out with Mr. T, he told me to stay out of drugs and drink my milk and treat my mother right. And I pity the fool who disagrees. I disliked Lady Gaga for her wacky costumes and that stupid hair of hers, and it felt like George R.R. Martin conspired to kill off all my favorite characters. I disliked all the people I had to ride with on the commuter bus. If Nancy Grace and I were to meet, I would have kicked her in the uterus. But my attitude has had a total overhaul since Mr. T told me how to forgive them all. He said, let the naysayers nay, I don't care what they say, it's all jibber jabber anyway. I pity the fool who cannot rhyme. He said I must move on, got to help more kids and got to spread my knowledge. I said, T, please don't go. He said, hold it, kid, you graduated college. He said, you know all that I know, I can't teach you nothing, I swear it's true. Go out and live your life because there's so much goodness in the world for you. You go watch as Bob Ross paints himself some happy trees, and those happy cows on TV make you happy cheese. And then he dug in his spurs and rode into the sky on that thing from the Never-Ending Story. I I know he's called Falcor. And I pity the fool who messed with tea. Thank you very much, everybody. I've played in like public libraries and churches and like portable classrooms, but this is by far the weirdest venue I've ever played in. This is really strange. The little triangles are highly distracting. Has anybody played Ellis, the phone game Ellis? I mean, you're blowing up planets. It's pretty cool. But every time, the way that you regenerate basically your mana is poking these little moving triangles, and so I keep wanting to. Gotta regenerate now. Oh. But I'm not blowing up planets at the moment, so I guess I can snap out of that. So this next song is not quite as happy as that other one. It's kind of on par with that first one, actually, because it is about the Abraham Lincoln assassination. And it's really hard to put a positive spin on any assassination attempt. I don't care who it is. So this song is called Our American Cousin. Well, here we are, Ford's Theater. Wow, this is pretty awesome. I don't know what this play is, but I don't really care. Because, oh my word, I can't believe the president is here. I can't see him, but I know he's sitting up there. When Harper's Weekly runs his picture, I like to keep it, I like to tear it out. But my husband doesn't like it when I do this, says he only has so much patience, and I might just wear it out. Now the play has started, but my head is somewhere else. The way he freed the slaves or something, that's so dreamy. I wonder what his view is like from way up in that bus. If I turn in my seat, no? This way? No, maybe this way. He might see me. He'll be like, who's that fetching beauty? And I'll wave and be like, hey. And I'll run off with him and we'll have tons of babies. And we'll live in a log cabin and I'll stay home and brush his hair. And my husband here can... What was that noise? You get it? It ties together the narrative of the song. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Spoiler alert. Doesn't turn out well for the president. What's the next chord? I'll figure it out. He's a tyrant and a crook. If you just take a closer look, you can see the lies just dripping from his mouth. No, that's not it. There it is. The D7th. The most mysterious chord. He suffocated half the land with his long and bony hand, and he doesn't give a damn about the South. He robbed us all of house and home, and then he left us all alone. It is obvious the deed that must be done. He can't be trusted with the power, and now the clock has struck the hour. I act on the behalf of everyone, and I'll liberate my country, unseat the despot. The old rule will vanish. I will turn the page of history. We'll get a new start. 6 separate IRS. I don't like this play. All the actors stink, and the laughs are cheap. I've been out all day. I just want to eat. I just want to sleep. It's my second term. It's a fresh
violence like none we had known. Such a war was fought, brothers fought against brothers on my command. But was it for naught when the slaves are all free in a more perfect land? My first term went by so fast, and so far I'm thankful for the years I've had. The war is now in the past, and this play really isn't that bad.
Yeah, Nancy Sinatra and presidential assassinations are probably the best way to open a comedy show, don't you think? Real good. So, a lot of the songs from this point forward did not exist last cruise around, which is very exciting. Making things. Because I've heard lots of people that tend to leave the cruise super energized to make stuff, and I am no exception. So these next two songs are about video games. Do we know video games? Are we familiar? I don't know. Just gotta take the temperature of the crowd here, but I think we know what video games are. And this first one is about Animal Crossing New Leaf. Does anybody play? I've been street passing like crazy with somebody, and I assume that they're sea monkeys, but my model home has shown up in a couple towns. So if you get a street pass from Molly from Compton, that's me. And for those of you who have not played Animal Crossing, what it is you are a little human in a town of animals. And you show up and they go, "You must be the mayor, welcome." And you go, "No." And they go, "Yes." And then you immediately take out a loan and buy a house against your wishes. You don't really have a say in the process. You're the only person that patronizes the local economy. You're the only person who picks weeds. You're the only person who donates to the museum. And all your neighbors are super needy, like just emotionally needy. And so it's this game of awkward social and civic responsibility. As if I don't have enough of that in my actual life, but I am addicted to it. And so I wrote this song about it because I realized if you spend a lot of time doing or learning about something as a songwriter, you can write that time off as research in your taxes if you write a song about it. So this song is called New Leaf. And it's not going to make sense if you haven't played the game, I'm sorry. There is a place I like to go when all the world has brought me down. It's a village by the train tracks, a sleepy little town where there's no crime and there's no drama, and no one's ever died. Where I own a little house that looks much bigger once inside. For some reason I'm the mayor. I didn't really have a choice. No one uses real words, but everybody has a voice. There's a river that goes nowhere. There's a tree they made me plant. It's a giant stupid time suck, and I want to quit but can't. If you want to own a home, Tom Nook will help you with a loan. I'm not quite sure what lesson this game teaches. I just got $1,000 for some peaches. It's not the game I wanted, but it is the game I need. Sometimes it's nice to have a place to go where I know I'll succeed. There's still awkward acquaintances whose feelings can get hurt, but it's repaired with just a letter and a regifted ugly shirt. There are no trolls, there are no jerks, just happy homes and public works. My friends could not get better if I picked them. But if they cross me, swear to God, I will evict them. So, fun fact about that song, I just found out like a couple weeks ago, that you can't actually evict people though you are the mayor. But what happens is you can teach your little animal people, they'll go, "Yo, Molly, I think I need a new catchphrase." And so you teach them dirty words or ASCII dicks or whatever. And then if like Angela visited my town, then potentially one of my people could move into her town and decide that they like her better, and I wouldn't blame them. But if I've taught that person to say, "ASCII penis, how's it going, Angela?" then she, as the mayor, can say, "This person's being a problem," and it wipes their personality clean, like back to the defaults. Which is even more terrifying. most step Freudian thing I've ever heard. So I might have to work that into the song in the future. But it's really nice to do a show barefoot and in a skirt. That doesn't happen for me very often. Yeah, thank you. I've coined this thing. I don't know if it's an existing thing, if there's a term for it. But like, you know, crop dusting, the practice of crop dusting, right? When you like leave a trail of farts behind you like a little mama duck. And so I was thinking there's so many people on this cruise with dresses and or kilts that there's this thing, I think it should be called hovercrafting, where like you build up a fart reserve in your skirt type thing and use it as like a fart dispersal device. I don't know if there's a term for that, but I think we should agree to call it hovercrafting. Hashtag hovercrafting. Sorry, that was a tangent. This next song is not about that. It is kind of, though. It's about butts. Because I wrote this song as part of Joseph Scrimshaw's Flaw Fest, and he has this amazing story about the way that he plays GoldenEye, the N64, which is to say, instead of doing badass James Bond type spy stuff, he crouches, because in video games no one can hear you when you crouch. And rather than, like, you know, pistol whipping somebody or, you know, doing a cool James Bond thing, he karate chops people in the butt. And because he's James Bond, it is a fatal karate chop to the butt and the person dies. And so he asked various musician friends of his to write a song about whatever it was in his Flaw Fest that spoke to them, and for some reason, fatal karate chops to the buttock spoke to me the most. So this song is about avoiding confrontation, and it is called Chop Chop. And there is a sing-along part for you, I might add. It's something, something, Rosebud was the sled. And I'm like, chop, chop, in the summer, when I go, chop, chop, in the spoilers, It sounds like you picked up on that pretty quick. Comes around a couple times. I think we got this. I don't have a lot of sing-along choruses, so I'm very excited when I find one. All right, chop, chop. I'm tasked with your assassination, but I don't like confrontation. I would much prefer a quiet hit and run. But at combat I am cruddy, and stabbing gets too bloody, and it isn't sportsmanlike to use a gun. Swords are really not my style, poison capsules take a while, but the interaction's what I mostly dread. But when my hand's at the ready, and my arm is strong and steady, I can chop you in the ass until you're dead. And I'm like, chop, chop, and the bad guys hit the floor when I go, chop, chop. They won't be henching anymore, it doesn't look the best, but it moves me on my quest. Don't act like you're not impressed. You're under orders and I get that, but I'm not so great at chit-chat. It's not personal, you're stationed in my way. I guess I could try to seduce you, but it isn't what I'm used to, and sexy spies are kind of a cliche. I'm not troubled by the killing, but I find I'm less than willing to avail myself of anybody's gaze. I'm not a brute, I'm not a terrorist, I'm just easily embarrassed, and gunfire only adds to my malaise. So I go, chop, chop, and the bad guys hit the ground when I go, chop, chop, and they make the weirdest sound. It's one part yodel, two parts scream, yet your partner doesn't seem to notice that you took one for the team. So I'm all, chop, chop, they can't see me when I squat, so I go, chop, chop. It might sound sexy, but it's not. There's no technique or grace when I'm chopping your third base. I just don't want to look you in the face. Get your wrist into it now. Chop, chop. Ah. And then I'm like, chop, chop. It isn't so unkind, no unkind. It's just what I've been assigned. It's a job I can really get behind. off the helper monkeys that are helping this thing run smoothly. This is a lot of people in a very weirdly shaped room, and they're doing a splendid job. And also a shout out to the people in the Harry Potter seats over here. Hi Laura, how's it going? And everybody who doesn't have a reasonable line of sight to the stage. You're really good sports and we appreciate it so very much. And also the people with regular sight lines, but you know how much I love you. Alright, more new stuff. Oh, tuning. Tuning would be good. How's everybody doing? Did you get off on the port today? Oh, there's no port today, Mom. Did anybody do the zip line? Was it? I heard it was awesome. How was it? Awesome! It was okay. Alright. The bell curve evens out then. Thank you. Dissenting that person. Okay. So this next song is about drinking water. No, it's not. This song is based on a true story. And it's about multiple things. I feel good songs are about more than one thing at the same time. Like, you look at Jonathan Colton's catalog, and Skull Crusher Mountain is about, you know, being a mad scientist and being afraid of women. And Big Bad World 1 is about sort of office culture, and Code Monkey too, about office culture and being afraid of women. And what else? The Future Soon is about being afraid of confrontation and women. Layers, I like layers in songs. And so this song is about more than one thing. None of which are about being afraid of women, oddly enough. It's about How It's Made, the television program. Which, if you haven't seen it, it's the best. Just the freaking, this is the best. Because it's like the Mr. Rogers' Let's Go Into a Factory segment, but it's a whole show. And there's usually no puppets involved. It's good. And it's about the difference between nerds and regular smart people. Because there is a difference, and I found it. And it's about how I am a pedantic and bad friend. And it goes a little something like this. So there we are at the cafe, drinking lemonade, and we're swapping anecdotes about our lives. I set the scene that in the background I was watching How It's Made, and at the mention I can see you roll your eyes. I stop my story and I ask if you have seen the show. I ask you why your eyes roll back into your skull. You say you never watch TV, but that even so, that you can't stand the thing, you say that it's too dull. Which was not the answer I would want, but you have time to be wrong because you're young. And I wanted to say that you're a dilettante, but that would not be nice, and so I bit my tongue. But you became a total stranger, and I felt so betrayed when I found out that you don't like how it's made. There is a man who's very good at sculpting toilet bowls. There is a woman who paints houses onto clogs. They have these weird ceramic rocks that polish metal things. There is a place where they make wheelchairs for dogs. You should be dazzled by the number of conveyor belts with giant robots that some engineers designed. Those little hammers in pianos, someone felt all those by hand, and you should appreciate. No, it should blow your fracking mind. There is art in everyday things. So much goes into making all your stuff. It's all made for your consumption by people just like you. And the camera work is boring, but it still should be enough. It threw our friendship into crisis. You didn't make a grade when you told me that you don't get how it's made. So there is Genesis, where God made all the earth and seas, right? And people read this, and it makes them feel complete. They say he made the cows, he made the birds, he made the bees. He made all this awesome stuff for us to eat. And I have learned that how it's made has that effect on me, because it doesn't answer who, but also why. smartest dudes set out to make things most effectively. And that rings with me much more than some big genius in the sky. 'Cause the world is so big and your life is so short. Why would you shun a thing that might inspire awe in you? And I want to explain, but if you have no retort, I know I'll wonder what it is I ever saw in you. Sorry. I know cable is expensive, but my Netflix bill is paid, so you've no excuse to not watch how it's made. Inside my head I threw a tantrum, but that's not what I displayed when you told me that you don't like how it's made. Is still like fresh enough that I still kind of get mad at the person it's about when I play it. But there's no internet in here, so she's not going to hear it. Not on this boat. Okay, so here's another cranky song that's about a real person, but it isn't. This song is a response to this phenomenon that has happened in some sort of subreddits where dudes react to being rejected by women by blaming it on the lady, like by saying, I was so nice, and she friend-zoned me, which is kind of this catch-22. Thank you. Yeah, it's no good. You should have sort of agency for your own actions, I think, but these dudes don't seem to think so. And so it's about anybody that uses the term friend-zoned, non-ironically, or people that wear fedoras with t-shirts and think that they look suave. Those people are in there too. And it uses the lower sort of growly register of my voice, so we'll see if this works. It's called Nice Guys. Nice guys don't always finish last. You're just living in the past, 'cause a girl didn't choose like you wanted her to. You claim that girls don't go for nice, but let me give you some advice. I think the weak link in that chain was you. I really do. We know you're feeling lonely 'cause it's all over your Twitter. You act like you're some hero that the ladies keep ignoring. You talk about how you're too nice, but did you once consider that the ladies might not stick around because you're kind of boring? You're not nice. If anything, you are self-righteous. No woman owes you extra points for your politeness. But you're my friend, so I took the time to write this. Nice guys aren't always in the right. You're some silver shiny knight, and your girlfriends are damsels who need your saving. Most girls won't date their biggest fan. They prefer to date a man, so you might benefit from some misbehaving and also shaving. A girl might want to talk to you. It's not an invitation. We shouldn't have to walk you through this basic courtesy. 'Cause from the outside looking in, we sense your desperation. There's a hunger in her eye, in your eyes, yours, pronouns. Hunger in your eyes, it won't take long for her to see. Wait till she learns that her friendship is a zone. Hope you enjoy playing board games on your own. It's not so bad if you're playing Carcassonne. Nice guys don't always get the girls in your deluded little world. You should not obligate anyone to date you. Nice guys don't always get the grift. Your perspective needs to shift, or your lady friends will cease to tolerate you, might even hate you. You think you have an in because you're liked by all their mothers, but you're clingy when you have a girl and puzzled when she splits. You're lacking personality compared to all the others, but you wait for them to see how much you're ready to commit. 'Cause aren't you Mr. Right? You're not too manly, not too bold, you are polite. But who would have guessed? As women slip away, you wonder if they really know what's best for them. It's you. You are the one. You are attentive and you're stable, and they say you're so much fun. They say you're great. Then there's no sex. So you dissolve into a cliche with a persecution complex. If you could see the whole field you haven't played, you're lovable, so please drop this masquerade. 'Cause playing victim all the time will never get you laid. Woo! I'm a little scared to put that one on the internet, I'll be honest with you. It'll get in these subreddits of subreddits and I will be in trouble. And I'll have to start moderating my YouTube comments. Pizza's delivered to my house and all that nonsense. Alright. Here's a more peppy one. I mean, it's also, a lot of my songs are like weird musical subtweets at people that I know. It feels good, guys, I recommend it. Instead of subtweeting, just write a song. Much more productive. This one is the first of the subtweety passive-aggressive songs because it is directed at the people I went to high school with, and it is about Myspace. Woo! And just kind of, they were putting all of themselves out there, and I thought, like, well, I'm never going to see you people again, but I wish you the best. And specifically, here's how. It is about Myspace specifically, but I feel its lessons transcend to other social networks, like Twitter. No, I'm just kidding. And it is called My Hope. The years are going by so fast, it really is bewildering, and we'll be so-called grown-ups and have mortgages and children. I hope we all gain worldliness and wisdom and maturity, but I hope most of all that MySpace falls into obscurity. I hope our profiles all go dead, entombed in distant servers, a monument to our youth, although lacking its observers. Your page will be an empty shell when no one is behind it. I hope your MySpace stays forever, and I hope your children find it. Now I hope that you forget about your MySpace. I hope it slips completely from your mind, and I hope it stays up long enough for the next generation to find. And I hope that it embarrasses your children. Hope that bratty friends all forward it around. And I hope that you forget your password so you cannot take it down. If your kids think you're vaguely square, it will be so much clearer when they laugh at the pictures you took in the bathroom mirror. They will not know your favorite band or any of the others. Who is this Paul and Storm you reference? Who's the Jonas Brothers? They'll marvel at how old you are. They'll raffle at your outfits. Your style may pass as vintage in the future, though I doubt it. Now I hope that you forget about your MySpace. I hope it slips completely from your mind. And I hope it stays up long enough for the next generation to find. And I hope that it embarrasses your children. Hope their bright friends all forward it around. And I hope that you forget your password so you cannot take it down. I hope your cynical kids say, holy crap, this is great. These comments date all the way back to 2008. I hope they dig through your pictures and find some we might call compromising. I hope seeing their mom in a swimsuit or smoking a hookah isn't too traumatizing. But it will be past their comprehension. They'll ask, did Grandpa not give you enough attention? And who the hell is Tom? That guy knows everyone. Hope that you forget about your MySpace. I hope it slips completely from your mind. And I hope it stays up long enough for the next generation to find. And I hope that it will humble you forever. And I hope your kids don't let you live it down. And I hope that you forget your password so you cannot take it down. They might go through your top 8 friends, read your comments at the most. I only wish that they could see the inane bulletins you post. Thank you. I guess MySpace is not, they gutted the servers. None of those things are there anymore. But I'm going to keep playing the song. I tried to mad-libbing go, oh, did you forget about your Facebook? And it didn't work, so screw it. I'm not going to George Lucas the MySpace song. I decided it's not worth it. You're welcome. Me? I don't know. So I have time for 2 more songs, and then we all need to go line up for the Jonathan Colton show. I'm gonna try and go out on a high note. I have 2 more. So this next one is a weird one, but we're kind of a weird bunch, so I think you'll get it. It's about Stephen Fry. Do we know who Stephen Fry is? Was that a dumb question? I sense it was a dumb question. Yeah. But I think that Stephen Fry is the cat's pajamas. I just think he's the best. And it occurred to me at some point that if he doesn't reproduce, which is not quite likely because he's homosexual, and so he can't like accidentally sire a child the way that a straight man can. And it triggered this reverse Darwin Awards thing in my head, where like if there's no Frylings, whatever the baby name for Fry is, Frylets, right? Frylets. Small fries. Nice. So if there are no small fries, then we're not going to have any fry in the gene pool, like, you know, for the next generations. And I apparently spend a lot of my songs thinking about future generations. That just occurred to me. But, like, that's bad, right? Stephen Fry is pretty cool. And Sarah Palin has, like, 8 children or something, so we got to step it up. And so I saw a need, and I am qualified to help. So this song is called An Open Letter to Stephen Fry, and it is me offering myself up to a cause. It goes like this. Your heart is promised to a man, and so I have no hope to win it. But consider my proposal, sir, if you can find a minute. I think the future of our species would be better with you in it. I know you have your problems, and maybe I have mine, but you should leave someone to carry on when you have turned to dust and plant your genome in an infant, sir. I think it's only just, and you would need someone to bear this child, a woman you can trust. I'll put my body on the line, Mr. Stephen Fry. I see no reason why you wouldn't think it worthwhile to let me bear your child. You would be amazed what science does these days, so think it over and send along your seed. permission, which I hope you will not doubt. I've got those childbearing hips you always hear so much about. I have permission from my boyfriend, and he'd like to help you out. Right? Where is he? Sure. I know it isn't much, but it's what I have to give. I sometimes drink, but I don't smoke, and I eat all my leafy greens. I'm trying to go to bed much earlier and get all my vaccines, and I'll put headphones on my belly, and I'll cut back on caffeine. I'll hang an iPad in the crib. Mr. Stephen Fry, I see no reason why you wouldn't want someday maybe to let me have your baby, and I'm in my prime, so you have loads of time. So when you're ready, send along your seed. You deserve to reproduce, and I was built to procreate. I hope my womb can be of use, so think it over, I can wait. And one day, if you're sure of it, then I could be your surrogate, please. Oh, Stephen Fry, I hope you'll tell me why you wouldn't think it's bewildering to let me bear your children. I adore you, dear. I come before you here to be the only woman you will ever need. And my fertility is nearly guaranteed, 'cause I have all the tools that you require to breathe. So send along your seed. Is there somebody up above the hi? How's it going?
Good.
Pretty good. I gotta say, I've got a microphone, so I'm happy. I didn't know there was a person up there, or I would have totally played that up in the Lincoln song. I would have cast you as Lincoln. That would have been awesome. So we're running a little short on time, so I can't fully elaborate on the story that goes with that song. But I met Stephen Fry once, and he said no, but that's a possibility still. Find me at the cocktail thing, and I'll tell you the whole thing if you want to hear it. So for this is my last song in this weird neo-gothic sex dungeon thing. And for it, I will need the assistance of the ukulele melee. Yes, please join me in some capacity. You don't have microphones, so you can stand in front or just wherever. We've been practicing all week for this song, which requires a bit of explanation. And so I will explain it while they're making their way up here. This song was written for Cards Against Humanity's. Yes! Cards Against Humanity's 12 Days of Holiday Bullshit. And they asked people to write songs, and so this was for day 3. And it is about the Hawaiian goddess Kapo and her detachable flying vagina. And while I was thinking about it, and since there are still people coming to the stage, a lot of my songs have vaginas or female reproduction in them, like at least 50%. And this one definitely tipped the scales. Because like I have Stephen Fry's baby, I punched Nancy Grace in the uterus. I have a song about Thanksgiving where I fall from my mom's womb like an apple or something, which she has factually corrected me on several times. But this one is the most vaginal of the songs I have. And I will release a box set. Get it?
I see what you did.
And so the ukulele melee has been practicing with me, and we're going to make an army of flying vagina ukulele people. enjoy this. It is called Capo. I have been Molly Lewis. This is the Ukulele Mailers. And you have been JoCo Cruise Crazy. Ready?
Yep.
Hold my fingers. Alright. Yeah, flip it off. Alright. Just in time for the holidays, with shopping on our brains. Amazon let us peek at the future with their freaky robot planes. And the public was nervous, but intrigued. Their reaction seemed to say that flying things bringing you presents is okay. Which is why my thoughts turned to Capo, Hawaiian goddess of fertility, because her lady downstairs parts have a stunning versatility. They detach and somehow fly. I have no idea why, but I do know that I would like to give it a try. A remote flying vagina is just the thing I need to take down the patriarchy. Satisfaction guaranteed. I cannot think of any part of me that I hold any dearer. But her face used to be hard to see without use of a mirror. So get ready, dudes and ladies, my vagina's on the hunt. It's not just for making babies. When I drone strike with my crotch, the world is not enough till I can weaponize my muff. I can tell it to go home when I am walking out alone. When I'm hanging with my parents, I can send it out on errands. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a vagina. I could clam slam John Hamm from 50 yards away. Thank you, Capo. And happy holiday. Ukulele Melee, everybody. And one more hand for the double clicks while we're all in here.